In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to renew your tourist visa right here in Brazil. What's up everybody, I'm Ollie, and before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell down below. Now, you're probably watching this video if you're in Brazil right now and you're coming to the end of your 90-day tourist visa and you're thinking, I really want to stay in this country, but I don't want to pay the 100 reais a day fine. How can I extend my tourist visa to continue to explore this magnificent country? And I've just completed the process, so I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it and give you some updated information on the tourist visa process. So make sure you watch all of this video to get great insights on how to renew your tourist visa correctly here in Brazil. So this video is important because when I was in the process of renewing my tourist visa, I did a lot of research. I asked lots of Brazilian friends, I read various websites, I went through YouTube, and I just couldn't really find a concrete answer. The information is quite outdated. For example, when I was reading a blog post, they said that I needed to provide a landing card to the federal police when I was going to renew my visa. And then I asked in a Facebook group about landing cards, and apparently that hasn't been a thing for like 3 or 4 years. So a lot of the blogs online are quite outdated. So this video is going to give you up-to-date information in 2021. Another thing about like reading blogs online or going through Facebook and stuff like that is each person has a different experience, and I do know that federal police agencies have different processes in place, which I'm going to talk about later in this video. But this is my experience, and let me know in the comments if you had a similar experience or if you had a different experience to what I'm going to talk to you about in this video. So with any visa process, you need documents. And again, a lot of the things online, they listed like 5, 6, 7 documents. And while these documents are important, I actually didn't need all of them. I prepared all of them, but I didn't need all of them. So you'll find out later actually what documents I needed to renew my visa. But anyway, let's go through the documents that you need to renew your visa. And the first one is the prorrogação de prazo de estada. And this is the form that you can get from the website. I'll link the link in the description below. So basically you need to fill out the details after you print it off and sign here. The next thing you need is obviously your passport with more than 6 months. This is pretty standard throughout the whole world, right? A passport that has an expiry date beyond 6 months. As I said earlier, some websites say that you need the entrance card, but they don't do that anymore. So if you see that in a blog post, it's not relevant to the visa renewal process for the tourist visa. Now, most blog websites will say that you need proof of accommodation. So that could be your Airbnb, your hotel, or your hostel, or like a travel plan itinerary that you've got. So definitely get that together, because I think that's going to help your case. Okay, so this is the website that you need to come to in order to generate the form that you then need to take to the bank to pay the fee to renew your visa, and I will link this down in the description below. So when you're here, you need to come down to number 3, which is Pessoas e Entidades Estrangeiras, and then you click on that. And then once you're here, you need to then fill out the form, which will then generate a form that you need to take to the bank. Your name, your CEP is your postcode, so you could put wherever you're staying. Your endereço is your address. Your bairro is your the suburb that you're in. Cidade, whatever city you're in. País de nacionalidade, where you're from, the name of your mother. And now this unidade arrecadadora is obviously not how you say it. My pronunciation is terrible, but this part is really important because, for example, if you're in Minas Gerais and you want to go to the one in Belo Horizonte, it's important that you choose the correct one. So the Superintendência Regional no Estado de Minas Gerais, that is for the office in Belo Horizonte. However, if you're in, for example, Juiz de Fora, which is the second biggest city in Minas, then you click on that one. However, you need to be careful here because if you accidentally click Juiz de Fora and go to BH, Belo Horizonte, they're not going to accept you. So you need to choose the right one. On the left here, where it says MG, that is the state code, Minas Gerais. And if you're in Rio, it's obviously going to be RJ for Rio de Janeiro. And then If you're in the city, then you'd click Superintendência Regional no Estado do Rio de Janeiro. All right, for the purpose of this, let's pretend we're in Belo Horizonte. We click here. And now the Código Receita STN is, it's the code to let the Polícia Federal or to let the bank know exactly what you're here for. And you are going to choose 140,090. It's valued at 110 reais, and it's the pedido de prorrogação do prazo de estada. And you might remember the form that you fill out for this. So you click on that, and then once all your details are filled in here, you click gerar, and that will generate a form that you then take to the bank. I went to Banco do Brasil, and you just give them the form, you give them the 110 reais, and then they'll give you a receipt. Keep that receipt. If you lose that receipt, then you're going to have to do this process all again. So keep that receipt in a nice safe place and take it with you when you go to the Polícia Federal. If you have any questions about this part of the process, drop me a comment and I'll do my best to answer for you. Now, it was also told to me that you need proof of funds, like a bank statement or something else like that. So make sure you've got that printed out just in case. And also, even when you arrive in Brazil, check out my video that I made about arriving in Brazil during COVID. It's really interesting. They say that you need an itinerary out of the country. You'll find out in that video whether I did need like an onward travel itinerary. So basically, the documents you need are the prorrogação de prazo de estado, your passport, proof of accommodation, a bank statement, and the receipt of the fee, the 110 reais fee. Okay. So each Polícia Federal is different, and some require you to book an appointment and some don't. If you have a Brazilian friend, or you can even ask the receptionist or your host at the Airbnb to actually call the Polícia Federal that you want to go to. And that way you can avoid disappointment by going there without an appointment and being told that you actually have to book an appointment online, which would be so sad, right? So find out if you need to book an appointment, and if you do, then book the appointment. If you don't need an appointment, you can just turn up. And actually, I went to the Polícia Federal in Anchieta in Belo Horizonte, where I'm currently living. I didn't need to book an appointment. It was super easy. I just rocked up there. So once you have all your documents printed and you have the courage to go there, it's then time to go to the Polícia Federal. When I arrived at the Polícia Federal in Anchieta in BH, it was quite crazy. There were a lot of people there, and because of COVID, everyone was waiting outside. So it was kind of like there was no line. It was a bit chaos, a bit disorganized. South America. You should go to Bolivia. Actually, check out my videos from Bolivia up here. Yeah, so I basically just not pushed past people, but walked past people and went up to the guy who was on reception. I said, hey, I've got this form, and this is where you give them the form that you filled out. And he asked me for that form, he asked me for the receipt that I paid at the bank, and he asked my passport. So I gave him all of that, and he told me to wait outside. And it was maybe 15 or 20 minutes later that they came to me and they called me into the police office, and he said, I didn't even sit down. It was like a small counter. He said, sign here. He showed me my passport. He stamped my passport while I was there, and he said, you can stay until the 21st of blah, 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 blah. So I got all these documents together. I got proof of accommodation, I got an itinerary to leave the country, I got proof of bank statement, and I didn't need any of those documents. I'm not sure if it's because I'm an Australian and we get it's a strong passport, but I didn't need any of that. So the documents I needed were the prorrogação de prazo de estado, I think I got that wrong, but I'll put it here, the receipt that I paid at the bank, and my passport to stamp the passport to extend it. Before I applied for this tourist visa, I was super concerned that it wasn't going to work and the process was really long and hard, and you know what bureaucracy is like in not only in South America but the world, but it was a super smooth, easy process. And if you had a similar experience to me, and if you need any tips on how to extend your tourist visa because you are in love with Brazil as much as I am, let me know in the comments, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so you don't miss any new videos.